We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Malik Washington, Miami Dolphins wide receiver, rookie 6th-round pick, and I feel like he's just getting better and better each week. Like, he looks so comfortable, and you know me, I was one of the biggest Malik Washington fans pre-draft, before they even drafted him, and then post-draft, he was like my favorite draft pick, getting him in the 6th round, and he's really just come along these past few weeks, and just getting better. It's nice to see. He's been making like a special teams impact for a while. But I think the biggest thing for me that I've seen in these, past couple of games is him getting open on like routes on the outside and like either man-to-man or like he's zone matchup on someone, like getting open with like good nuanced routes. And that's something that I didn't expect out of him, because I always thought of him more as like a reliable slot receiver. He's got a good he's got like a running back type build, has good contact balance, good with the ball in his hands, but gonna be more like a short to intermediate threat. And I do think that will still be his game. But it's been nice to see him line up on the outside and have some of these wins that I think were kind of unexpected, because he's not, the fastest, most explosive guy. I think he's more of a short area quickness guy. But it's been really nice to see him make some plays. He did have a drop in this Browns game, but overall was making some nice catches, converting. I think the drop was more of just a concentration thing. He was looking to make the guy miss before he actually secured it. Like, overall, I think he's pretty good with his hands. This first play right here, though, right before the half, he got like 3 straight targets. Does a great job like selling. I actually really like this concept. He goes out here, he sells like he's stock blocking with, the bubble from Craycraft. So he sells like he's going to stock block, which freezes this DB who's on him in man-to-man. And then Washington's able to, boom, quick foot fire, get back to the inside. Ball's thrown a little bit behind him. He's able to make an adjustment, even bobbles it, hangs on while getting hit. And then while he's like, this is very tough to do, like to hang on like this while you're getting hit, and then still stay on your feet and fall forward for another 5 yards on the play. Like, this is probably my favorite part of his game, is his balance. Like, he's very good at staying on his feet. He does a good job of usually making the first guy miss in those situations. Like, he's got good short area quickness, like I've mentioned. But his balance, I think, is one of his more impressive traits. And I've always, I'm a big balance person. I think it's still the most important athletic trait overall. It matters more for other positions. Like, I think O-line balance is, like, definitely the most important athletic trait. But it's just nice to see Washington making plays. Like, even little ones where, like, it's just right here before the snap. Good work, just finding the soft spot versus zone. This is just, you're trying to pick up some yards. Hundley finds him. He just sits down on it. You're trying to get in field goal range. Not a lot of time left. He catches the ball, doesn't waste any time. He just instantly anticipates where people are going to be. He sticks that foot in the ground and just gets upfield. Like right here, he might, some people might tackle him at 33, gets nothing. He falls forward and gets to like the 30, which is an impressive. Just picking up, hitting yardages, little things. Washington doing a good job. Honestly, he almost even false starts here. He maybe gets a little hesitation, but on this play, another similar thing. He even kind of trips. This is where I think he will be at his most effective, just being as like a slot receiver, having like an option route, either running like this, stick, quick outs, quick ins, break to the inside, that type of thing. Catches the ball here. Another situation where he takes some contact. Look at him just fight through and still fall forward. And this was just 3 straight catches in a row to get in the field goal range, and then they spiked it after this. It's just good work. Making some tough catches too, because he's tripping, falling over. It's not like he has the biggest catch radius. Like, he's a pretty, undersized guy, especially from like a height standpoint. I think he's got a good, like, solid build around that. Like, he's got like a good center of gravity, good compact build to him. But then it's just routes like these that I think are really impressed me, because Dolphins don't always come out. Like, they play a lot of 21 personnel. They play some 12 personnel. They come out on these 2 receiver sets. So like in these 2 receiver sets, you're probably going to be lined up on the outside. You're gonna, like, he's in a tight split here. Inside the numbers, but it's nice to see him running routes down the field. You're the one-on-one on the outside with the outside corner, and then look at this route. I love, he takes this inside path, but once he this is the part I want to talk about. Look at him bend this route back to the outside, work into the blind spot of 29. So he gets him to like open up his hips, get him outside of his position. Once he opens up his hips, boom, sink, get in and out of your break very efficiently, like very little wasted movement. It is just a very good nuanced route, getting the DB exactly where you want him to be. Ball doesn't come his way, but like he was just as open as Tyreek was, except Tyreek was more in the middle of like a bunch of defenders. But Malik had his one-on-one, and he definitely won it. And I feel like these routes have become more and more common for him, more wins on the outside. I think you would expect. He's also was effective in the RPO game, just good awareness here. This Browns, he sees this corner bail. They're running the seam real side RPO. He's like the seam option down the middle. He snaps his head around quickly, feels like this open spot opening up, knows the ball could come his way, catch the ball. Kind of stops his feet too, but instantly, gets his momentum upfield. I like that he doesn't like try to dance. Sometimes guys will try to catch this and dance. He just catches it, realizes the situation, like, hey, just catch it, fall forward, make sure I pick up that first down. Love that from him. I feel like he's doing that pretty consistently. And it's just routes on the outside now, man. That's a quality route from Malik Washington that, like, I wasn't really expecting to see too much of this when you look at his skill set coming out of Virginia. And I loved Malik as much as anyone. Just working, getting guys to open up their hips early. Like, he sells this vertical. He sells vertical and then gives a hard stab to the outside there, which gets this guy to open up his hips. And he's able to efficiently break to the inside on, like, this deep dig. Now, Tua was getting hit and threw it deep to Tyreek, and, you know, probably could have been caught to Tyreek. But if Tua had time, he could have also thrown this to Washington because he got open, creating separation. This is something that I've really wanted to see from Washington, and that gives me a lot more confidence in him going into next season with, like, you still have Tyreek, Waddle, Malik. That's a pretty solid trio. I would still add some size to the room because it's pretty undersized. I think if you get, like, a fourth guy that's, like, got good size to him, almost plays as, like, a big slot potentially, can win maybe some jump balls down in the red zone. Combine that with Jonnu Smith, because Jonnu also gives you some of that stuff, but maybe more of like a vertical presence than what Jonnu would give you, because he is more of a tight end. I think that could really fill out your receiver room. Like, you don't need to add too much to it. But Malik winning on the outside, like I'm talking about, this is what you got to be able to do in the Dolphins offense if you want to see significant snaps, because he's playing multiple different receiver spots on the outside here, one-on-one with a corner, press man. These are the reps you want to see. The foot fire off the ball, the slide, he slide releases to the outside, gets this guy to move off his spot, so love that. Gives you the little boom, twitchy release, slide him, move him to the outside, now release to the inside, and then great hand placement. Look at his hand fighting to win to the inside, swipe down, so he keeps himself clean. Now he's on his path. This is exactly where he needs to be, and once he's able to, he starts to bend it back to the outside too, like he starts leaning to the outside, lean into the DB, and then break hard to the inside, and then Tua throws the ball with good timing, anticipation. Ball is slightly behind him, and he's still able to make a nice, tough catch. You got to be able to do this if you're a smaller receiver and you want to really make an impact in the NFL. Making tough catches down the field always makes me feel better about their skill sets translating, because it just allows you to be more versatile and see more reps, because that's not something that a lot of smaller receivers can do in those situations. And Malik's out there blocking too. Like, he's definitely, like, I think sometimes he's inconsistent with his blocking, but he's definitely giving effort. Sometimes he'll block the wrong guy, but like, he's going out there and doing some dirty work, helping Tyreek out there. He's also a good punt returner for you. He had that one blunder in the Packers game, but outside of that, he's been solid picking up yards. This one got called back for holding, but like, didn't really need to happen. He's doing a good job of like usually making that first guy miss, and then the second guy, he like breaks a tackle, he runs through arm tackles, he plays with really good contact balance and play strength for his size. I think he shows pretty good vision overall in these punt return situations. But it's just really nice to see a 6th-round rookie, especially one that I really loved pre-draft, making this kind of impact. It doesn't always happen. And then I know like he had that drop in this latest Cleveland game, but I think overall still a pretty solid game. And I think he has pretty good hands. Like here, ball on the outside on a 3rd and short situation. You set this up perfectly. I think this is more at the catch point type situation. Get open, boom, catch the ball with your hands away from the frame, and then show good situational awareness to get 2 feet inbounds and then protect the ball as well. That's just like overall understanding exactly where you need to be, making a play. Being reliable is so important, especially in the Dolphins scheme. And I think Washington is just one of those guys that fits really well. If they can add a bigger body guy, like I really like Jack Besh from TCU, I think he would be like the perfect fit in that receiver room. Almost like a Jawan Jennings type of player into that room. Maybe one guy that can play a little more on the outside, be more of a vertical threat as well, because that's what the Dolphins like to have. And combine that with, Reek, Waddle, Malik. You get Jonnu at tight end. You maybe add another wide tight end as well. That could really improve your room, and you wouldn't need to spend like a significant, I think, capital on that, like the receiver position. You can focus elsewhere, but still, like I think adding one body, whether it's free agency or draft, would be very, very helpful. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.